out over the fact that their friend owns a pew pew. I am just so f***ing confused because I genuinely thought you all fucking had them. Like, I thought it was at least one per household. This is how you're perceived by the rest of the world, by the way. Like, we just assume that in America, everybody or their brother or neighbor or somebody has a fucking pew pew. I expect to walk into a room and everybody in there is low-key packing, and at any point they could whip one out and just start a fucking pew pew fight. And I'm just like, whoa, fuck. I thought this was a Starbucks. I remember being in social studies class growing up, and we watched a video about back in the day that you could open up a fucking bank account over there and they would hand you a complimentary pew pew to say thanks for that, mate. So many people I know, myself included, are too scared to go over to America purely because of the lack of pew pew regulation. It is insane to me that you guys don't realize how insanely you're perceived.
I find it especially cute that she thinks that we think others think of us as the afraid and feared. Let me tell you something. In America, when it comes to guns, we don't fear anybody. All right, you know why? Because we have all the guns. That's why. But it's funny to me that somebody, down under has the opinion that they have of us because they don't understand the culture in America. Your country prioritizes certain things and others. One thing that we prioritize is guns. It's gun culture. But it's not why you think it is. It's not like every baby that's born gets a Remington in their baby bag when they get out of the hospital. That's not how that works. And frankly, if they should bring that program back, I believe it was in the 70s where they had banks would give out a Remington rifle because they trusted you, because then you would be responsible with your guns, to be with safety and all that stuff. But I think it's funny that she is afraid to come to America. You walk into a Starbucks, more than likely you're gonna be all right. And you know why you're gonna be all right? Because there's people like me and millions of Americans who carry because they want to be safe and they want to protect themselves and their families, whoever they're with. So you're likely going to be okay. You can get your burnt coffee at Starbucks and you'll be just fine. It's interesting because she has this perception that everybody's walking around as if it's just like, shoot 'em up Thursdays or Fridays or whatever. That's not how this is, and frankly, it's a lack of understanding. It's gun culture. Gun culture in America is different than in many other places. Do we all want to have the coolest gun and see who can spend the most and spend the least and have the coolest gun? Yeah, it's a culture. But we treat it very seriously. We take our safety very seriously around our kids and family and everybody else. So this is just a lack of her understanding of what it is. And I think it's funny that she's afraid to come to America. I mean, doesn't Australia have like spiders that throw darts, and can't like every living thing in the ocean there kill you? And then snakes, and they got kangaroos the size of John Jones. I mean, shoot, I would step into the ring with a kangaroo, but you're afraid to come to America? I mean, that's hilarious. But here's the thing that she's missing completely. In America, we have guns because we want to defend ourselves from people who might try to harm us or others that we love. But mainly, and worst part of all, is in case a government becomes tyrannical. That's why we have guns. That's why we keep them. That's why we prioritize it. That's why it's so important to us. What I don't find funny is that you can't defend yourself, but we absolutely can, and we will if we have to.